Okay, so let's start the new section, which is weather effects. So in this section, actually, I'm going to implement basically two types of weather effects. So mainly we have sunny weather and rainy weather. And later on, we will implement smooth weather transitions as well, such as sunny weather to rainy weather and rainy weather to sunny weather, something like that. And once we integrate the entire weather effect system, later on, if you need to implement your own weather effects, custom weather effects maybe, then you can do that also. Okay. For example, like you can extend the features for like snow effects, maybe sandstorm effects, something like that. But here I just need the minimal implementation, but I will implement it in a way which is extensible for you. Okay. Right. So before everything, let's create a new level by duplicating our showcase level. I'm going to call this one as app underscore with. Let's open that up. I don't need these mannequins or this ramp. Okay, so this is our level. But here first let's add our TOD manager. Okay. And after that, since we have the TOD manager, we don't need these lightnings because by default TOD manager implement all of those stuff for us. So let's get rid of all of them one by one. And the TOD manager, it will handle it for us. So maybe at the time I'm gonna keep it as maybe 10. Save it. Okay. This is my level. And here I don't need the dynamic type TOD. So I'll keep it as like this. Right. So in order to start with weather effects, first I will create a weather manager so that it will handle the entire weather effects on the level. So let's call this one as pp underscore weather manager. Open that up. And as usual, let's add an arrow component and billboard element. Let's add some offset. And then maybe, yeah, let's add the texture. Billboards. Yeah, we have the weather manager instance over here. Let's set it over here. And I'm gonna reduce the scale for like 0.3 for now. And then we can add this to the level. Managers, weather manager. Okay, so it will be visualized like this. Right. And in this weather manager, basically I have to implement several things, but maybe for now I'm gonna keep this empty type here. And later on, once we implement the weather effects, we'll keep improve this stuff. But what I can do is I can create a utility function at our PRS utilities, because later on we may need to get a reference to our weather manager. So for that, like we did for the level manager and TOD manager, let's create our own utility function called get weather manager, so that we will be able to return that instance from here. Right, so I'm gonna simply duplicate this last function. I'm gonna call this one as get weather manager, send it to manager category, and you can get rid of this world context input as the actor class. Let's give the weather manager, compile, and let's resolve everything one by one. Is valid, and here the return value should be weather manager. can get the very first index. Compile, save. Right, so then I can maybe rename this warning message also BP level, sorry, not the level manager actually, weather manager. And here also weather manager. Compile, save. Okay, so now we have a basic setup for our weather system, and then next I will show you how we can implement weather effects so that we can implement multiple different weather types.